go-to filming destination. Kind of like the lighting, kind of don't, but nevertheless. Hey guys, episode 2 of the Plant-Based Pedagogy. My name is Kier, Zai, depending on however you know me as. But, so, yeah. Love this album. I'm going to try while I'm making this not to sing throughout. But, hey guys, welcome back to the Plant-Based Pedagogy. This is episode 2. Today, to celebrate the summer solstice, we're going to go ahead and get started on a cookout spread that I prepared for you guys. So what this is going to basically entail is about 6 dishes. Let me actually reposition myself because I feel like I'm a little off center. But basically, it's going to consist of about 6 dishes that are kind of going to give you a decent little spread for the next cookout you have to go to, either whether you're hosting one or you know you're going to the family cookout and you want to not starve there the entire time that you're enjoying yourself. Here's about a couple of just a few options that you'll be able to incorporate into things that you make, just to make sure that you're still being fulfilled in this year's summer festivities. So basically what's on the menu today is we're going to be doing an all-American Seitan burger. That's going to give you a really, really good kind of bite and texture to a veggie burger, one of the best ones I've known. It's not quite an impossible burger, I'll say that, but they have chemists and labs, and I feel like this is pretty close. It's an adapted version that I got from the avant-garde chef, vegan chef. He has a YouTube channel here as well. I'll try to tag the link to his channel as well, but it's basically an adapted version of his with a couple substitutions, just because I feel like he's a UK-based chef, and there was a couple ingredients that he had in there, like Marmite, that I either would try to order online or just really that's the only option. I've never seen it here in the continental US. But I did adapt the version a bit, and it's still amazing. He did a great job on cultivating that, so props to him. But an all-American burger, carrot dogs, potato salad, pasta salad, homemade baked beans, along with a southwestern fried corn, which I'm like a sucker for fried corn, so I was really nervous about how this was going to turn out as far as a vegan version, and it's fantastic. The peppers, the onions, the corn all have like a fantastic char on them, and in combination with those like really sweet, smoky spices of like paprika and cumin and oregano, it's amazing. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into this video. We're going to get started off with boiling up the potatoes for our pasta salad. That's going to be the first step we do, just because that does take a little bit longer than the rest of the steps. And being that your pasta salad is pretty good and cut and dry, just pretty much add and mix. You can give that plenty of time to both add that into the refrigerator, let it cool down a bit while you prepare your other ingredients. So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Make sure you guys are commenting and let me know suggestions for future videos. I have a ton of wonderful ideas I can't wait to share with you guys, but I also want to make sure that we're gearing this channel to, whatever the demands are of you guys. So if you're finding that you're having a lot of ingredients that you're having to find yourself utilize again and again and again, or you're eating the same things all the time, please hit me up. Please let me know in the comments. That's one of the biggest things that I've never understood since I've gone being plant-based, is people saying that, I feel like I'm eating the same thing over and over and over again, when really there's so many options. I feel like my palate has like expanded since going vegan, plant-based. Sorry, I still jump saying vegan all the time, but I just want to make sure I'm not offending anyone. Just because when I first went plant-based, there was so many different things I wanted to still kind of maintain as far as my diet, and certain things nutritionally I want to make sure that I was still maintaining. So to kind of be able to kind of have a handle on everything, I felt like I had to try so many different ingredients and different ways and textures and just all kinds of stuff. It really made me try a bunch of different fruits and vegetables that I honestly don't think I would have tried otherwise. I'm almost 100% sure I would have never picked up a jackfruit had I never needed the need to make something kind of similar to like a pulled pork or chicken. But more on that in a future video. We might do that for, I don't know, fajitas. Who knows? No. I think I might do my roast beef on jus sandwiches. Again, leave it in the comments. Let me know if that's something that you guys would like to do, or if you just want to let me keep doing it. Feel free. I want to talk to you guys, see what you guys have to say. Also, next week, we're probably going to be dropping down to just 1 week of video. I know this is another late upload. Completely. I just suck. I really just did not think of how much work this editing actually takes in regards to putting these videos together. I bow to the YouTube gods now, because they are some bad at this point, because I can only imagine as far as what it takes to make a 40, 90-minute video on here. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and jump into this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me so far. I just want to make sure that we're just, I don't know, any criticisms you guys have, just make sure that you forward it to me directly. You can feel free to put it in the comments as well, but all my contact information is there as well. I usually respond to emails or DMs a lot easier, but nevertheless, feel free to comment and let me know any feedback that you guys may have. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey guys, so to start out, we're going to go ahead and give our potatoes a quick rinse here. This is just to get any dirt and debris off of them before we get them prepared for cooking. I'm going to go ahead and slice them in half just so that they cook at a little more consistent and even rate across the board. We're going to go ahead and just add it to a pot of boiling water and begin to work on the marinade for our carrot dogs. Now this is going to consist of a little bit of garlic, black pepper, paprika, nutritional yeast flakes, and a smidge of coriander for our dry ingredients for the marinade, and a bit of grapeseed oil, molasses or honey, any other sweetener you would like, apple cider vinegar, soy sauce, liquid aminos, and a little bit of liquid smoke. Now I'm going to go ahead and prepare some of the onion I'm going to be using for the base for my burgers as well, and begin to get those kind of sauteed up just a bit. Now those are just going to go in a pan with a little bit of butter. I use butter instead of oil just because, being that it's vegan. The vegan butter is just a great way to add basically additional richness. Now, this is what our carrots are going to look like now that they're based in the marinade that we made for them a little bit earlier. We're going to go ahead and move forward to making the wet base for our burgers. Now, this is going to consist of some black beans, Himalayan pink salt, soy sauce, balsamic vinegar, tomato paste, black pepper, oregano, rosemary, some paprika and chili flakes, natural miso, and a bit of porcini mushrooms or shiitake mushrooms soaked in vegetable broth. For the dry ingredients, it's just going to be a combination of our garbanzo bean flour, vital wheat gluten, and nutritional yeast flakes. So I'm going to go ahead and combine these two separate, sections of the dough itself until they kind of need to come together. Now, what our vital wheat gluten is going to do in this is, as it begins to bind to the moisture in the dough, it's going to start to kind of form those gluten proteins, which is what gives bread its chew, its bite, so to speak. And you know how, like in baking, you've always been taught, don't knead the dough too much or you can make it tough. Well, in this particular case, that's exactly what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to knead this into the point to where your fingers are starting to cramp up. I'm kind of joking about the fingers cramping thing, but at the same time, you do want to really knead this because the more that you knead this, the more texture and bite that your overall kind of burger patties are going to have. So I personally kneaded this for about 10 to 12 minutes to really get that texture solidified and really get the and pow. So again, you can be as rough as you want with this, honestly. The rougher the better. Like I said, it's going to add a lot of texture to your overall, I call it wheat meat. I thought, whatever, it's not really that funny, but you get what I'm saying. So again, just really kneading this, and then we're going to go ahead and just take some plastic wrap, set it over this, and let it kind of rest for about 15 minutes. Now from this point, so I'm going to go ahead here and get hopped over to our baked beans. So I have some thinly sliced onions over there with some brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, some liquid aminos, or again, soy sauce, tamari, whatever you want to call it, paprika, 2 cans of northern beans, tomato paste, liquid smoke, some minced garlic. You can either use any type of mustard you like. I personally like honey Dijon to still kind of maintain the sweetness, but in a fairly hot pan, you're going to go ahead and toss in about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of butter and saute your onions really low and slow on this to really bring out the sweetness in the onions. We're going to go ahead over to our meat that has had a chance to rest at this point. Now over here in a large sauce pot, I've go ahead and just made a broth that I'm going to be boiling my burgers in. It's just basically vegetable broth with some shiitake mushrooms and rosemary that I've added. Now that I'm going to roll out the dough, so to speak, of the burgers. And then with anything that you have, either a pastry cutter or in my case, I just use the open end of a glass, you're going to go ahead and shape your burgers. Now, make sure you're going all the way through. You want to make sure you're not ripping the dough as you're trying to make these shapes. Just because being where the dough's at this point, it's firm, but it's still a little bit soft, and it does have a tendency to kind of be delicate. So you want to make sure that you're getting all the way through so you can just evenly just plop these out. So you see there's a very defined circle for each one. So into this boiling broth, I'm just gonna go ahead and plop my burgers one by one. Our onions getting a little bit of color this time, but I'm gonna leave them on there still. Now, the reason why I made those burgers so small is because, as you can see here, as they begin to boil, they're going to about double in size to really make a meaty and fulfilling burger. Now that I've combined the sauce for our baked beans, I'm just going to combine our caramelized onions and the 2 cans of navy beans and go ahead and give these a quick stir to kind of combine everything. That's going to make sure everything gets really incorporated and pop them into a 350-degree oven. Along with that, our carrots that have had a chance to marinate at this point are going to get plopped in on top, but on the top rack so they cook at a kind of a slower rate. Our burgers, again, are just going to continue to boil over here in the broth. So I'm going to go ahead over here and hop over to my potato salad, which is just going to combine the kind of roughly chopped and skinned potatoes we made earlier, some salt, black pepper, celery seed, paprika, a bit of dill, some sweet relish or gherkins, vegan mayo, apple cider vinegar, and either yellow or, in this case, I'm using Dijon mustard. Now, with those roughly chopped potatoes, they're going to appear here, but I'm also going to put over on the side a medium pot of water to boil the noodles for our pasta salad. So what I got here is I've got all the ingredients together, got a little bit of our celery and a little bit of about a quarter cup of onion as well. I'm going to stir to mix this all up. Go ahead and just pop this in the refrigerator while you work on the next stage in our meal today. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rotini noodles to this pot of boiling water I have in front of me at this point. I'm going to go ahead and just enter a whole 16-ounce box and let those boil until they're about al dente. So we're gonna go ahead over here and get started on our fried corn. Basically in the back bowl, I've got some bell peppers finely chopped with some regular just sweet onion, some black pepper, oregano, cumin, paprika, a bit of chili powder, and some garlic, some lemon that I'm gonna sprinkle over the top, and a bit of our vegan Parmesan cheese in the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and saute all of the spices along with our onions, garlic, and peppers. Gonna add the corn here once those have had a chance to really caramelize, and just kind of leave it set there so you can get a nice char on the corn as well. Once that's charred a bit, we're gonna go ahead and add in our vegan cheese, stir that to kind of combine it. And then after that's fully combined, we're gonna go ahead and follow up with a bit of that lemon juice.
Columbia, this is Houston, over. Roger, I got a P-22, auto update.
Our noodles are about where we want them at this point, so we're gonna go ahead and get these drained off. We're gonna go ahead and grab our carrots so they don't get too tender, begin to grill up our burgers and our carrot dogs. So I'm gonna start with the burgers just because they take a little bit longer. We're gonna wanna leave them set. I did brush my grill with a bit of oil just to keep them from sticking. Now the reason why you wanna kind of leave them there is, as you can see, these grill lines I haven't really gotten deep and dark yet. I'm gonna leave them on there for a bit while I go ahead and start on our pasta salad. Now pasta salad is gonna be kind of straightforward. I got a bit of chopped up vegan chorizo, onions, some peppers, broccoli, celery, and a little bit of Italian dressing, and the rest of that reserved Parmesan cheese. Burgers getting a little bit of color on them, so I give them a quick flip, and I'm gonna go ahead and take our baked beans out of the oven at this point because they've definitely been able to absorb a lot of that flavor. Tossing my carrots on, just gonna give those a nice char grill and set our corn off the heat. It's now complete, and we're gonna go ahead and just let that sit covered. At this point, we can go ahead and take our potato salad out of the refrigerator. It's had a chance to kind of cool down some and allow those flavors to really marry. Our pasta salad, now that it's combined, has a wonderful pop of color that's going to be great for an addition to this. Our baked beans have gotten really tender at this point and absorbed a lot of that marinade that we based them in. And lastly, our carrot dogs and burgers are all done. They kind of favor turkey burgers from this angle. All right, and there you have it. This is our vegan cookout affair. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you're giving me suggestions for what our next video should be. I'm thinking soul food, but guys, leave your comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Make sure to share this with your friends, and we'll see you next week.